Brought to you by 1AAuto.com, your source for quality replacement parts and the best service on the internet.
Hi, I'm Mike Green. I'm one of the owners of 1A Auto. I want to help you save time and money repairing and maintaining your vehicle. I'm going to use my 20+ years experience restoring and repairing cars and trucks like this to show you the correct way to install parts from 1AAuto.com. The right parts installed correctly. That's going to save you time and money. Thank you, and enjoy the video.
Okay, so this is kind of part two, the installation of the regulator using bolts. 97 Expedition, same as any 97-02 Expedition and 97-03 F150. Tools are pretty much the same as what you used to get it out. Obviously you don't need the drill anymore, and you'll need whatever wrench and socket for the bolts you might use to secure the regulator. Okay, so the regulators we sell at 1A Auto are exactly the same as the original. Now obviously these were riveted in to begin with, and you can see why actually. So here's one of the mounting holes, and you can see this bracket or this gear is going to go right over it, so there's a clearance issue. So really when you remount it, you want to put the bolt in from this side, okay, here, and when you can get to it, which you'll have to probably run the regulator all the way down here. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to feed my regulator in. Okay. And here are my 6 mounting spots. So I'm going to lift it up. I'm going to put a bolt through this middle one and then through the door here and put a lock nut on it. Okay, so that's holding everything in place. As you're bolting in this, just make sure you bring your door handle rod up above it. And feed it in place. And put on the bolts. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to get my regulator in position here. Okay, now these ones here I don't have to worry too much about clearance, so I'll put a bolt in there and a nut on the back side. Okay, again, this one here I don't have to worry about clearance, so I'll put a bolt through and a nut on the back side. Okay, now these two up here, I don't have to worry so much about clearance, but they're a little difficult to get to. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to I've got my nut in behind in my wrench, and I'm going to feed it through, and I can now see it right in that hole, and I can put my bolt into it. Okay. Now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to kind of snug all these ones up that I have in, since they're pretty easy to get to. Like I said, I'm not going to tighten them, I'm just going to snug them up. Okay, and now really if you were to stop here and just tighten these 4 up, everything would work just fine. You might get a little rattling out of here, but I am going to put in the last 2 bolts. So now I've just put my switch back up, and I have my window motor back in. I'm just going to turn the key on and run the window down. Okay, key off. Now with it all the way down, I can reach right in here and put that bolt through. Put a nut on this side. And now put that on and tighten it up. So now I just have my last one. I took my nut, I put a little bit of adhesive on it. I'm going to put it in my wrench like that, let it dry for a second. I'm going to reach in behind here carefully, and underneath. Okay, and there's my nut. The other thing you could do is you could probably try and glue the nut onto the window regulator before you even put it in. Doesn't always work though, usually falls off. Okay, now we can tighten all this up. I'm going to turn the key on, run the regulator up so it's the holes for the window are right there, then bring the window down. So now I've brought my window down, I've got my studs in, and I'm putting back on my 11mm nuts. And tighten them up. Okay, let's take the tape off my window. Okay, so now you can see where here we had 6 rivets. You've got 2 bolts going in that way. In the middle, 2 bolts are coming out this way for clearance purposes. And then these 2 bolts in here with nuts on the back of all of them. Now we'll do a test. Just kind of hold that out of the way a little bit. Pretty good. Okay, so now here in the interest of time, we're just going to speed through putting the door panel back on. You can probably pick up enough to get it back on, and obviously if you took it off, you're just putting it on the opposite way of how you took it off. So we do hope this helps you out. We hope this helps you out. Brought to you by www.oneauto.com, your source for quality replacement parts and the best service on the internet. Please feel free to call us toll-free 888-844-3393. We're the company that's here for you on the internet and in person.